When government agencies need to improve their efficiency, they often turn to interactive voice response solutions. Scheduling permits, inspections, getting tax information, and even paying tax bills can all be automated with IVR. In this special case study session, we visit with Mike Hannegan, Vice President of Selectron Technologies, as he shares their story to become a leader in IVR solutions for government across the country. So Mike, thanks for joining us. I'd love to learn a little bit more about you and about your company. So why don't we start with that?
Okay, so Selectron is a 60-year-old company out of Portland, Oregon. We started off in the telecommunications industry, and over the years we branched into security, and now recently, over the past 20 years, have been into interactive voice response as well.
Right.
And as the business progressed, we have moved more to a hosted solution of IVR.
Sure.
And are providing our customers a way to take payments and do other PCI functions on our hosted environment instead of on-prem. So it saved them a lot of effort getting to the PCI qualifications.
Excellent. So let's just talk about you for a second.
Okay.
Tell me about what you do and your responsibilities.
Okay, I've been with Selectron for 44 years, and I do product development, product design, and I have, I basically had started the IVR division of our company, and I just like interacting with our customers, coming up with new ideas for the product, and finding solutions for their needs.
That's awesome. Well, I know we got together for a few minutes, well, more than a few minutes. We had a nice dinner together in Portland a few weeks ago. And it sounds like you have been mostly involved in the technical side of the business. And I guess that's your primary responsibility?
Yes, it is. I'm on the management team, but primarily involved with design and development. Our vertical market, by the way, is local governments, city, county governments. We do some work with states as well.
Right. And I think, as you mentioned, the primary product offering you've got is IVR platforms that are customized for the government vertical. So maybe you can just tell us a little bit about what that is and what makes an IVR work well in that particular case.
Well, we really tried to focus in on products that would help the jurisdictions go from an 8 to 5 type business into 24 hours. So we started out with permitting and inspections for their building and planning departments to allow customers to access data about permits and inspections 24/7, and schedule inspections, automatically get inspection results delivered back to them. From that, we went into utility billing, and we got into some bill presentation, and also taking payments over the phone for utility bills, and providing ways for customers to stop service, pause service. And
That's
then
awesome.
we've also done on the county level, have done county taxation, so callers can dial in and pay their tax bills and find out tax information.
Wow. Yeah, no, it sounds like a very, very niche little market. So let's get in a time machine together, and let's go all the way back to when you were first starting to look for a session border controller.
Okay.
And let's talk about some of the things that you were looking for before you found ProSBC. I'd love to learn about, what were some of your challenges at that time? What were you working on, and what were those challenges?
Well, at the time, we were being approached by customers that were taking payments that, as the PCI requirements became more strict, customers didn't want to move that direction. We also we had customers that wanted to do outbound bursts of outbound notifications that they couldn't do on-prem. So we decided to build up a platform at a co-location site here in Portland.
Okay.
And I wasn't involved with the first selection, but we had selected one of your competitors, InGate, with their separator. And it worked well for us, but it was hard to maintain. It was hard to program. Nobody really understood it. So we started looking for a replacement as we were expanding our co-location site. And we actually tried Sangoma's SBC.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a lot better, but it wouldn't give us the flexibility. We wanted to do load balancing between two or multiple servers, and we just couldn't do the distribution we wanted to do. There were some other limitations it had as far as transferring calls that made it difficult. So we went shopping again and found your product, and it seemed too good to be true. For we had the ability to bring up a system without getting it fully licensed. We ran it through a bunch of tests. It was simple to configure. Price wise, it's very competitive, and it did the call distribution we needed it to do, and the transferring, the bridging we needed it to do. The reports are great. It allowed us to export data so we could integrate that data into our reporting for billing, so we could tie together the minutes used back to our customer records. So it just fit our application very, very well.
Oh, that's great. Well, I'm glad it does. So then now you started to deploy ProSBC in your network. Let's talk about, skip ahead in the time machine. Let's go to today. What do you have deployed right now? How are you using it today?
We have 5 units currently. We've got 2 in each of the co-locations that we have, 2 here in Portland. We have 2 in Atlanta, in the Atlanta area, and when we have a 5th one that is also in Atlanta that we use for testing and development purposes. As we're thinking about bringing on new features, we have a block of numbers that go to that 3rd unit, so they don't really interfere with the other production ones. So we can do testing, bring back logs, see what's going on, and get it set up exactly as we need it set up. And we have 2 sets of SIP trunks from our provider. Our provider is Lumen, that brings in our dial tone.
Okay.
So we get dial tone from Lumen. We've got 2 SIP trunks coming in each environment. And if one fails, each trunk goes to a dedicated SBC. And if one trunk fails or one SBC fails, everything pops over to the second set of boxes.
Yep. Oh, that's a pretty typical implementation. It's kind of a active environment.
Right.
That's good. Yep. Good. All right. So then let's talk about the business impact of it. So, where has this growth and this kind of deployment and this expansion into the government market with your IVR, how's it helped you, and what does it mean to the business now for Selectron?
Well, when we first brought on the SBC, I think we had about 400 or 450 total customers. And since then, and most of those were on-prem. So we brought them, once, I'm trying to think what year, we've had your product now about 3 years. In that 3 years, we've added another 150 customers, and we've moved site customers to, premise customers to hosted. So we've got approximately 300 customers we're supporting in between our 2 co-locations now.
No, that's great.
And it makes the configuration so much better. If we are on-prem and have to support our IVRs, the effort that takes compared to being able to support in-house systems that are in our co-location, our maintenance and service times to complete the tasks has been cut down by about 50 to 75% on most orders, because we have control over the environment. We know what's going on. We have a good relationship with Lumen and a good relationship with you. to help us get those problems resolved right away.
Oh, that's awesome. Fantastic. So then moving to kind of what's the future have before you? You know, what kind of things you're working on? You know, what should we expect? What should we see in the future?
Well, there's talk about bringing on a third co-location site in Canada, because all our Canadian customers right now are premise-based, so, and they can't do anything out of country. So we're talking about expanding up that direction, up around Toronto area. And we've got a few new products in the works that we're thinking about bringing on, but some things I can't really discuss right now. But you know,
Sure.
we're growing. We also do have, you know, away from the telecom environment, support web-based products, and we also have mobile inspection units and, you know, mobile apps that we provide as well.
Oh, that's great. Well, I really appreciate you sharing your story with us. I think this is what I dreamed of when we first started working on ProSBC, is be able to see these kinds of solutions out on the market, and that kind of creativity and ingenuity that people like you have put together. So thanks for telling your story. And you know, if people want to ask questions about anything, you know, how can they get a hold of you, Mike?
Okay, we're Selectron Incorporated out of Portland, Oregon. I'm at mike.hannegan@selectron.com.
Well, yeah, anything else you want to add? Any other thoughts?
Just that, you know, it's been a great 44 years in your product and your support. That's one thing I didn't talk about, was your support. You know, your team is great. Quick response, always accurate answers. Anytime something comes up, you know, you're right there and get us going again.
Oh, that's great. I'm sure I'll pass that along to the team. They'll appreciate it very much. So, all right, Mike. Well, thanks again for spending time with us. And with it, we'll bring it to a wrap.
Okay, thank you.